Hello everybody, this is another one of my English elm projects that I rescued from the roadside. Essentially they had suckered from the hedgerow down across the grass verge and popped up in the gravel on the side of the little country lane where I walk Cooper. In fact, if you look back through one of the playlists at least, I show you exactly the place where I pulled them up. Yeah, they would have been killed off by traffic and salt, etc. probably had I not rescued them. So this is a 3-trunked elm, and I'm going to have to do something with that piece that's growing into this piece, but I'm going to put it into a pot. It's first time into a bonsai pot. I had considered this green one, but in the end I plumped for this rather nice black one. I can't actually say for certain sure why I think the tree goes better in this black one than in this green one, except to say that I look at them and compare, and in my head one looks better than the other. Any rhyme or reason more than that, I'm afraid I can't give you. It's the 13th of March today, and as you can see, the buds are not just swelling, they've actually started to burst on this tree, so you need to crack on really. I'll start by brushing all this moss off this surface and get rid of that, because if you know me, you'll know I don't like a mossy surface. I certainly don't like moss growing on a trunk. So we'll get rid of that using my nylon brush. This tree's got a lot of surface roots, some of which are from where it came out of the hedge and was attached to the parent plant, but I like surface roots that are less conventional. I do like a nice radial root pattern, don't get me wrong, but I also like these kind of weird and wonderful haunted wood, trippy up woods. I've said it before, it's the sort of route that I would be so busy walking under this tree looking at the glorious crown that I would not look where I was going and put my boot straight in that and fall flat on my face. But there you go. Okay, so that's my front. Now I need to think about how much I need to take off to get this tree in there. Not too much, it would seem. Okay, so I'm just going to run around the edge, removing all those bits that are running round and round and round. I'm going to make this tree fit into this pot. It's not got the best root ball. I've not had this tree that long. That's my front. So yeah, I'm going to have to tuck that root down by the look of it, but I can at least get the rest of the rooting in. I think that'll look quite nice, quite centrally in that pot. I definitely wouldn't have squeezed those roots into the green one, so yeah, right choice. So straight in the bottom. I think that'll, yeah, that's not a bad depth. So let's add some controlled release fertilizer. Not too much, but this is being very free draining compost. I do add a little bit stronger than perhaps some manufacturers suggest. Okay, you can get most of that root ball sat flat on that substrate. That's good, because I know now I have no air gap underneath. So now it's just a question of filling in round. I know some people use chopsticks and things. Sometimes I use my root hook. But when there's a good flat base to the root pad and I know I haven't got gaps underneath, your fingers work really well, because you know you're not pushing down too hard because you're going to hurt your finger. So it kind of self-regulates the amount of pressure that you pack in around these roots, because after all you don't want to bruise the remaining roots that you've got. Not that I've taken loads off of this tree, of course. Let's bring that round. Nice gap there, so we'll make sure we pack them down. And as I say, I can regulate how much pressure I'm giving. I can feel the grit and the cat litter pressing into my fingers if I press too hard. So before I add a final top layer, I'm going to add a little bit more of this fertilizer, because then it'll wash down towards the bottom of the pot with each watering, rather than stuff in the bottom going out of the bottom, straight out of the hole. Okay, trying to make sure I leave that root exposed. What's up, pup? You want to go in? Right. Cooper's knocking on the back door, but there's no one there to let him in, so wisely he's come back and told me no one's letting me in. So we'll give that a drink. As you can see, hopefully you can see, the water is flooding straight out of the bottom, taking any dust and dirt with it. Okay, move it into the pot, the centre of the... It's got an interesting navari with some interesting roots showing. So now I just need to give the top a little bit of a tidy up. I'm wondering about taking off this wire. I can't actually remember when I wired it. Wasn't that terrible? But I think it might be beginning to cut in. So yeah, let's remove it and see what exactly happens. If that branch goes racing back up towards the sky, I might need to rewire it. Yeah, that's holding quite nicely. Perfect. Okay, so let's see if I can't remove this piece. That one hasn't held as well, but I think I might shorten it anyway, so I'm just going to take that piece of wire off. I know some people say cut it off, but I can reuse that. There's a thicker piece here, but it's coming off quite easily, so again I shall straighten, reuse, reduce, recycle. You may not know my channel, you'll know that that's a phrase I often aim for and don't often get right, but yay me, I got it right this time. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Okay, so there we have it. Now then, let's trim off a few bits. I haven't really taken off much in the way of root, if anything. So I don't need to take off too much for balance. But I want to keep the growth in reasonably tight, and I don't like this piece that's growing across. So likewise that one. I'm going to shorten this and this. In fact, I'm going to shorten that back to there and let that be the new leader of that branch. That'll give that branch a little bit of a little bit more taper. Don't like that piece that's growing out from under that bend. Okay, and take off that. That's an odd looking piece, that can go. And that piece I don't like either. That piece that hadn't taken with the wiring. Am I going to rewire it, or am I going to trim it back and use that as the new? I'm going to trim it back and use that as the new leader. I'm going to remove that branch entirely. Dead stub there. And then I'm going to put a piece of wire on this, just to bring that up and out, so that the three trunks are sort of growing away from one another rather than into one another. In nature, that is what would happen. They would seek the light and abandon the shade created by each other and move further apart. Okay, so lock that in there. Not pretty wiring. My wiring's never pretty, but functional. Gets the job done. I would get laughed out of any show that even if a show did allow trees that were wired, people would not be amused at my wiring, I'm sure, but the only people I show them to, as it were, are you guys. And I'm sure you'll tell me if you don't like it. But as I say, it gets the job done, and that's what counts. Back again, Coopy-Doo, in and out like a fiddler's elbow. Yes. So there you have it. Let's give you a 360 of that tree. Put a bit of wire on there. I could chop that off and grow a new one, but it's a useful branch in a useful place. And so, fine. It's going to be difficult not to snap it, but there you go. There we are. It brings it out. So back to the front, quick 360. Hopefully it'll put out lots of new shoots. The tree is all much of a muchness in terms of height. I think I might take off that. In fact, I'm going to take off all of that. And that is the new leader. And that can come up. Again, giving me a bit better taper. Yeah. One last branch here I don't like. So it's got to go. It has slightly denuded this tree now, but it'll grow. It'll grow back, and hopefully we'll push out some more buds. We shall see. There you have it. That's another one in the bag. Do the usual YouTube things, the liking, the subscribing, most of all the commenting. I always do like to hear what you guys think. And most of all, though, most importantly, please do take care of yourselves. Stay safe, everybody.